Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a review as well as a demo of the brand new brand launched by Huda Beauty, which is called GLOWISH. So GLOWISH is basically an incorporation of makeup and skincare, and I'm actually quite impressed by Huda because I've complained quite a few times in some of my previous videos that because of this whole new trend of makeup stroke skincare, a lot of makeup brands are not quite doing it in the right kind of way, and they're not necessarily incorporating skincare in the correct kind of way when it comes to makeup. Now Huda Beauty obviously has got her own brand, which is Huda Beauty, which is solely focused on makeup, and then she's also got Wishful, which is skincare, and now she has created GLOWISH, which is basically a hybrid of makeup and skincare. So I'm actually quite impressed that she's been that innovative that she's actually created a brand specifically for makeup and skincare. And to launch that brand, we have two products. This is the MultiDew Skin Tint, and then this is the Soft Radiance Bronzing Powder. Both shades I've got are in medium. Now let's start off with the packaging first, just because I think it's really cute and I obviously want to share it with you guys. So I'm going to start off with the Skin Tint first. This comes in a cardboard box with a holographic design of GLOWISH, emphasis on the O. Because it's quite subtle, I'm not sure if you can see, there's an ombre effect going from purple to pink to peach to yellow and green, which I think is really nice, so on trend for the summer. And this is the tube itself, comes in a squeezable tube as you can see, and this is holographic on here, and then inside you have got a nice easy squeezable dispenser right here. Exactly the same with the bronzer as well. You can see it comes in a cardboard box with the ombre effect, and then inside this is the way that the packaging looks. It's very different. It kind of reminds me of old school packaging. I don't know why, but I do like it. So there's the GLOWISH in this kind of frosted looking covering, and then inside itself you can see the marble effects of the bronzer. Can't remember off the top of my head, but I do believe that these are made from some sort of sustainable materials, so they are environmentally friendly and easy to recycle. So it just says on the box GLOWISH, which is the love child of Huda Beauty and Wishful, where flawless finish intersects with skin caring ingredients for the ultimate glow up. Now I'm going to start off with the glow tint itself. Like I said, I bought the shade medium. Now altogether there are 13 shades, and medium is 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th color in. Now these have also been marketed as flexible shades, which is why there are only 13. Now if you guys have followed me for a while, you know that I've got an issue with brands that come up with this whole flexible terms shade, especially if you tend to up the coverage slightly when it comes to these kind of skin tints, stroke tinted moisturizers, whatever you want to call them. Medium is described as medium skin tones with neutral undertones. Now obviously you guys know I do not have neutral undertones. I've got very yellowy golden undertones, very specific. If I go neutral, I tend to go a little bit grey. I can't use peach kind of colours or any kind of pinky colours because those are not my undertones. Now unfortunately the next shade down for me, which was light medium, is described as with pink neutral undertones. Again, I don't have neutral and I don't have pink, and the next shade up, which is medium tan, is for medium tan skin tones with golden undertones. The problem is that there aren't enough undertones that I think will work well for people, regardless of the fact that it's called a flexible shade. Now I've noticed that when I applied this to my skin, not heavily but a little bit more than you're supposed to, but I do think it's subjective. We can all apply as much or as little as we want. It definitely was too deep for my skin tone, and I initially was actually going to buy the lighter shade light medium, but the only reason that I didn't was because it said it had pink neutral undertones. So I do think that even though there are these various categories of shades, altogether there are about 4. Let me just read to you from Huda Beauty's website what their claims are. It says GLOWISH MultiDew Skin Tint is a radiant, moisture-packed skin tint that instantly brightens your complexion and blurs pores for a soft, focused, dewy finish. Perfect for the ultimate no makeup look. The sheer coverage illuminates your complexion without hiding it, and the light reflective pearl pigments effortlessly enhance your natural beauty. It will literally change your glow game forever. The key features are that it's available in 13 stretchable shades for all skin types, blendable application, dewy finish, pump applicator, high performance makeup with skin loving ingredients. The skin tint has been infused with good for skin ingredients, including Damascus rose oil, which is a feature in our Wishful Get Even rose oil, which by the way is pretty good oil, and sustainably sourced red bell pepper extract. The rose oil soothes, clarifies and locks in moisture, while the red pepper extract helps protect our skin against the effects of digital pollution like the blue light in our cell phones and laptops. We wanted GLOWISH to have bomb formulas that are packed with the best ingredients nature has to offer. The formula is 92.6% naturally derived, FYI, and give your skin what it needs to help prevent the signs of premature aging, dark spots and dullness. Vegan, fragrance-free, water, sweat and transfer proof, non-comedogenic, so it's not supposed to clog your pores, 100% recyclable, sulfate and paraben free. Now what I'm going to do is I'm only going to go in with a very slight amount. I'm on my way out for an evening out after this. I'm actually going to be vlogging while I'm doing it so that you guys can see live and in effect how it's going to break down or not break down throughout the day. It's a humid day in London today. It is pouring down with rain, what you don't want on a Friday night. I have to go on the tube, which is the central line and is one of the deepest and hottest lines on the tube. I'll have a face covering on. So we will test out this whole sweat proof, transfer proof, while I'm wearing a face covering and on my way out and on the way back, and how it looks towards the end of the evening. Alright, so all I have on my skin right now is my normal skincare. I did cleanser, toner, essence, moisturizer and sunscreen. My face is a little bit red because I was just rubbing at it. And I am going to just do half of my face for now, just so that you guys can see how it covers or sorts out blemishes and how the skin glows in a natural kind of way. So I'm going to apply it the same way that I've seen Huda do it, just to see how it will work. So there we go, literally just the tiniest amount. And the brush that I'm going to be using is the Morphe M439 Deluxe Buffer Brush. Okay, so here you should be able to see this is the side with the skin tint and this is the side without. First off, you can tell that this does not match my skin tone. Quite obviously, you can tell, I can tell. This side makes me look like I'm a little bit tanned, but at the same time, I can very clearly tell that this undertone is not going to work well for me long term. Bear in mind, it's still the beginning of summer, so my skin will deepen, but that doesn't mean that my undertone is going to change. I'm just going to get more golden. I'm not going to get more neutral. Now, I've applied a very small amount, as you guys can see. So what it's done is it's definitely evened out my skin. I've got blemishes on my face, I've got bits of pigmentation, etc. I've got your general skin kind of issues, and I can see that my skin looks nice and glowy. You definitely get a really nice natural glow with this. Don't expect too much in terms of coverage. They've not said that it's full coverage or that it's a skin tint. But again, if you do like to build it up a little bit, but you still want to retain that dewiness, you can build this up. To me, this actually builds up to a nice medium coverage, which I think is really good for something like a tinted moisturizer stroke skin tint. However, the more you build it up, the more obvious it will be that the color that you've bought is either the right color for you or the wrong color for you. All right, so now I'm going to do the other side of my face, do it in exactly the same way, just a little blob. Okay, so that's my whole face done, and as you saw, I used the most minimal amount. My skin looks lovely, it looks dewy, it looks fresh. This definitely doesn't blur out the skin, but I'm not sure if you can see. I've at the moment got live eczema on my face. I had a flare up. My chin is quite red at the moment, and so is the side of my nose. This evens it out slightly, but not enough to cover those areas. So that's one thing that you need to remember, that if you're looking for some sort of coverage with this, yeah, you can build it up. But what will happen is the more you apply, the more dewy your skin will get, and then throughout the day it will start to move. The one thing you have to do is you have to set this. You have to. If I touch my face, it comes off. My finger is shiny because it has transferred. Yes, this does transfer, and even if you were to leave it for a little while in the hopes that it may, you know, dry down, it doesn't really dry down because it is obviously a skin tint and it is dewy. And in order to ensure any kind of longevity with this, you do need to make sure to powder it down. I definitely have to powder it down. I'm going to be using my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush powder in the shade medium, especially because this may help slightly lighten my face as well, whereas you can quite clearly see, or I can see, the difference between my neck and my chin area. So it says that it instantly brightens the complexion. I would definitely say that there is an instant lift and instant oomph to the skin. Blurs pores for a soft focused dewy finish. I would definitely say it does. Bear in mind that I've got textured skin and this definitely helps to blur that texture out. Sheer coverage, well yes, it does have a sheer coverage. Illuminates your complexion. Definitely my skin looks illuminated, looks glowy, looks fresh. And the light reflective pearl pigments, well yeah, well you can see the lights bouncing off my face, to effortlessly enhance your natural beauty. So I would definitely say that it does do all of those things. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a little bit of my makeup before I come back and start off with the Glowish. So I'm just going to do my under eye concealer, finish off my eye makeup, and also let you see what my skin looks like once I have powdered it down. Okay, now my eye makeup is complete. I've done my under eye concealer, as you can see, and I have set my face with the Charlotte Tilbury powder. Now because I'm wearing a full coverage concealer under my eyes, it's the Too Faced Born This Way one. My shade is in Golden Beige. And this is full coverage. You can very clearly see full coverage, not full coverage. It's very obvious. Now after powdering it down, my skin feels a lot softer. It doesn't feel as tacky. However, I can still see some of the shine. Now bear in mind, if you are going to powder something down quite a bit, you are going to get rid of some of that dewiness. Not all necessarily. However, in my point of view, I had to do it more so than normal purely because the undertone makes me look muddy. I just caught sight of myself in the mirror in the bathroom in natural light and I was like, oh, it looks muddy. And bear in mind, I put the tiniest amount on, the tiniest. So if this is technically a flexible shade as it has been marketed as, I should technically be able to wear at least 3 or 4 of these different types of skin tints. Now let's move on to the Glowish Soft Radiance Bronzing Powder. Like I said, I bought mine in the shade medium, which is number 2. And altogether there are 5 shades of these. It goes from light, medium, tan, light to deep tan. Now, first off, this does have a very much of that baked kind of look, but Huda has very clearly said this is not a baked bronzing powder. It just has that kind of appearance. It's like a marble kind of effect, so you've got different shades blended in together, and also it gives a really nice aesthetic look to it. Glowish Soft Radiance Bronzing Powder is Radiance Boosting Bronzer, will instantly get you glowing. Beautifully buildable and so easy to use. It lends all skin tones a natural looking tan, warming your complexion with luminosity. The light as air, non-powdery texture applies like silk and blends so seamlessly, we swear it feels like you're wearing nothing. Available in 5 universal shades, formulated for every skin tone, 12-hour wear, blurring velvet finish with a soft focus effect, duotone marble swirl design that can take you from bronzed to contoured in a few swipes, light as air, non-powdery formula, buildable and blendable. Formula is fragrance free and infused with good for skin ingredients including plant-derived squalene, vitamin E, shea butter, red bell pepper extract and Damascus rose oil, which is obviously also in the actual skin tint itself. Now, I really like this bronzer. It's been a long time since I've bought another bronzer. I've been using the Charlotte Tilbury one forever, and I didn't actually think beforehand to maybe use this as a contouring shade, which I can actually do, but it's, for me personally, it's a little bit too warm to use as a contouring shade. Again, completely up to you, personal preference, but personally this is a shade that will look great to warm up my face. If I want to contour my face, I need something that's a little bit more neutral, and this is not neutral. This is definitely a warm toned shade for fair to medium skin tones. So as my skin is now ready after using the skin tint, I can actually feel it feels slightly tacky. So even though it is a dewy kind of skin tint, the dewiness can still kind of come through. I'm going to still contour my face today, but I'm going to do it like a reverse contour because I want you guys to just see how this works on its own. So I'm using a Morphe G6 brush. It's just a blush brush or bronzing brush, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just going to tap a very slight amount. There we go. You can see a little bit on the brush. It's non-powdery. I can't actually see any powder that comes off at all, which is great. And I'm just going to go here. There we go. Immediately my face is warmed up a little bit, goes a really long way. It's not powdery, there's no shimmers in it at all. Gives a really nice soft focus effect. Let me move on to the other side now. Instantly my face looks warmer. Let's do some up here. I obviously don't want to do too much because let's not forget the skin tint is dark for me. I don't want to look even more muddier than I already do. And do down here a little bit, but I'm wearing a white t-shirt. I like it. Look at it. I can keep piling it on and it's fine. Like, I like the way that because it's not powdery, not a lot of product comes off. However, it does still come off. I really, really like this powder. I'm actually very impressed with it. I'm probably going to get the darker one as well, the slightly darker one, just because. All right, I am going to contour my nose slightly. I'm going to use a different brush, which is kind of dirty looking. But obviously, because this is not that dark, it won't show up as much. Just going to cut my contour slightly. And then brush it off. See, there we go. My face looks contoured already, even though, albeit not in the right shade that I would generally use. Now, normally I would apply blusher to my cheeks. I'm actually wearing pink today. You can't see I'm wearing pink trousers. Pink, pink, everything pink. My shoes are pink. So normally I would wear pink blush, but obviously because I'm going to be checking in throughout the evening, I'm just going to leave it as having this on my cheeks, just to see if it lives up to those 12-hour claims like they state. Okay, so I've done the rest of my makeup. As you can see, I've done my highlighter, I've put my lipstick on, I've mixed two lipsticks. I might change it, I don't know if I like this. It's Huda Beauty's Video Star and Jet Setter. I mixed them together. Yeah, so this is how everything now looks. So now what we're going to do is we are going to do the wear test. So right now the time is 3 p.m. on the dot. So I am going to do check-ins throughout the evening to see how this works on my skin so that you can see it live and in effect. You're going to see how it works in humidity. You're going to see how it works with pouring rain outside. You're going to see how it works with being in central London, surrounded by one of the highest amounts of pollution in Europe. And you're going to see how it works on my normal to combination skin throughout the day. And yeah, I think I am going to change my lipstick. I don't like how it looks on me. Change it to something else, which you guys will see later. I also forgot to mention that this retails at £32 and it is 40ml. And oh yeah, I was right, 25% PCR. So this is a lot more environmentally friendly than a lot of other products. And the powder retails at £27. I bought mine both from Feel Unique, where I have Huda Beauty set up as a brand for life. Therefore, I will always get 10% off my Huda Beauty products. And I also had a £10 voucher. So I got off 10% and then I got £10 off. So great deal. I'm not going to do anything else to my face now. I'm not going to, normally I would actually apply setting spray or something like that, but I want you guys to see exactly how it works in person throughout the day without any kind of other interference, which is why I'm not wearing primer either. Okay, here I am in my bedroom, like literally 20 minutes later. It's 20 past 3. Just so that you guys can see what this looks like in natural light. Bear in mind today is a very cloudy, rainy day. This is not sunlight, it's just natural light. So that you can see how my skin looks away from studio lights. So here you can see clearly that this is not the right shade for me. I look overly bronzed and slightly muddy, but you can see the shine coming through, the nice dewiness. Bear in mind I've got a highlighter on, so ignore that bit. But overall this is how it looks. Oh, and I changed my lipstick. I'm now wearing Maybelline Superstay in Artist. I think this kind of looks a bit better with my makeup look. Alright, I'm going to leave my house in a second. It's still pouring down with rain, but I feel so humid. I just hope that I don't start looking like a shiny mess towards the end of the day. Alright, so I'm in my car. I'm just going to drive to the station. Got 2 face masks here, brand new, unworn. So let's see how they hold up in terms of transfer on the way there and then on the way back, when the makeup is more likely to have kind of worn off a bit as well. Alright, I'm at Liverpool Street. Let's have a look now. Let's see. Oh, I'm actually quite impressed. Oh, nearly dropped it. There's a little bit of my lipstick inside and a slight amount of transfer, mostly on my nose where I've actually got concealer, and some around my chin. But it's not too bad considering I was on the tube for 45 minutes and I had my mask on for probably about an hour. So not too bad. It's still raining a tiny bit, but it's really quite humid. So I'm actually quite impressed with how this has managed to hold up so far. Let's see, it's now just gone 5 o'clock. So far I've had it on my face for 2 hours, which isn't actually that long, to be honest. Alright, so it's now minutes to 11, so I've had this on for 8 hours. So far so good, but I've not been able to check my face up close because the toilets in Sushi Samba were very, very dark, so we'll see how it looks by the time I get home. I'm tired, you guys. I'm tired. Alright, sorry if the light is rubbish, but I'm in my car and it is now 11:45 at night. So I've had this skin tint on my face for, well, since 3 p.m. So that's about, what, 10 hours? Here's the mask that I was wearing. And I can detect a very tiny bit of transfer on the edges, but generally there's no transfer at all. So I do have to say that, yeah, it does transfer a little bit, but not too much. My mask from earlier in the day had a bit more on it, but I do believe that to be powder rather than the actual skin tint itself. I'm just in my car now. Let me get home and I will have a look at my face up close. Alright, so I'm home now. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired. I need to take off my lenses. My eyes are red. However, let's now talk about the skin tint, as it is towards the end of the day. I really can't wear it for any longer than this amount of time because I need to go to bed, obviously. So I would say that this dewy, healthy glow that they claim to have really does stay this way. I mean, considering that I've worn it in the rain, I've worn it in humidity, I've worn it on public transport, I've been out all evening, and it's a fairly mild kind of day as well. I think that it's held up very nicely. The only thing is, and I'm going to show you up close now, you can see here where some of it has come off, but I think that's where my mask was sitting. And ignore this, this is actually, I've got eczema on my chin, which is why it's cracked. That shouldn't happen to the rest of you. And in a couple of places it's broken down where the mask has mostly rubbed over it. And that in that respect, when something is supposed to be transfer proof, that kind of normally means when you accidentally brush like your sleeve or something like that, rather than something that is consistently like rubbing against your face. I actually think that this skin tint is really, really good. I'm personally going to give it a 9 out of 10. The reason I'm not giving it a 10 is because I'm just not happy with the colour range. For people that have got medium skin tones with golden undertones, there is like literally one shade that you can use, which isn't that great, and I don't think that it would work for everybody. And even if my skin's going to still get darker over the summer, it's not going to become neutral, like I've already said. Now, in terms of the bronzer, it says that it lasts for 12 hours. Well, obviously it's been 10 hours, and I still think that it looks absolutely lovely. I'm definitely going to give this a 10 out of 10. I think it looks gorgeous. I think loads of you will love it. And other than that, I don't really have much else to say other than I need to go to bed. Let's do this. Ugh. These are the Huda Beauty Scarlet eyelashes, by the way. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, make sure you subscribe. I'm sorry I can't say much else. I need to go to bed. And I will see you all later. Bye.